What's up, folk? I go by the name Team Tommy, and this is ISO-T, the place for everything 2K related from builds, sims, news, and more. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned and sub to the channel so you don't miss a thing. It's a big day in the 2K community as 2K dropped their gameplay blog today, going over all the new features and tweaks that they've made to this year's game. So I'm going to cover the most important parts of the blog. If you'd like to check it out for yourself, the link will be in the description. First things first, 2K spent a lot of time talking about defense this year, and here are all the takeaways from that portion. So shot contest and blocking systems were all rebuilt. In 2K states there'll be more snatch blocks and volleyball spikes. The blog went on to say there are no more ghost contests, so if you do not put your hands up, it's not a contest, and those are going to lead to easier buckets. However, good shot contests will lead to more misses. On-ball defense has improved with better movement, body ups, and bumps, and the bump steals animation have been reduced. So they're not totally gone, they're just toned down. Steals got a buff, all depending on attributes, of course. 2K says that if you have a low steal, you have more sluggish animations, but if you have a high steal, you'll be able to pick pockets easier. They also added layup strips back into the game, something that was in the game strong about 10 plus years ago now. Now, the biggest improvement I want to see on defense is if the offensive player is going to respect my body and my positioning when I cut them off, because a lot of the times cheesers try to get around you just by dribbling the ball either to the left or the right. So if I cut them off and predict it correctly, they should have to either pick up their dribble or lose the ball. Hopefully that's something that 2K also addressed in the new defensive mechanics. Moving on to dribbling, dribble gods rejoice. 2K replaced their 1-to-1 basic size ups with 1-to-1 signature size ups, so you'll be able to execute moves like KD's hezzy, hardens through the legs, Steph's machine gun crossover by flicking the sticks in multiple directions and chaining those dribbles together. And 2K added 50 unique signature size ups to experiment with. Now we have to wait and see if that's going to be on day one or if some will be added through the seasons. They also added 32 signature combos, which requires you to hold the right trigger and tap up on the analog stick. So essentially that's replacing the size up dribbles from last year, and you can chain those together with the new signature size ups to make deadly combinations. And lastly, on the dribble front, dribble movement is height compensation, so a taller player won't be able to dribble as quick or as well as a smaller guard. 2K also talked about their post play a little bit. They're going to be new right trigger fakes, you'll be able to chain multiple fakes together, and they added some controls to avoid steals in the post. Now, I don't know too many people that use the post, so for the 6 people out there, that's for you. Now on to the shooting portion. 2K added yet again another new shot meter with what they are calling a dynamic resize window. So basically wide open good shots have a bigger bar, meanwhile bad and contested shots have a smaller bar. Yes, timing will still play a role, and 2K states that bad shots will no longer be rewarded. Moving on to what was probably the biggest issue with the next gen version of the game, 2K talked about their finishing in this year's game. So 2K is introducing timing meters on alley-oops and poster attempts. So essentially there's a shot meter for dunks. Whether it's big or small, we don't know, but if you're receiving alley-oop or attempting a dunk, you're gonna have to time your button press correctly in order to be successful. Here's one thing I do not like. Pulling back on the right stick will force a contact dunk attempt. Now, 2K claims it's a high risk, high reward, but I don't like the sound of that, especially after the whole dunk contest that was 2K21. 2K also added new dunk celebrations, similar to what they have when you green a 3 release, so it'll probably be automatic. And lastly, there's a new dunk creator, and 2K claims that you'll have more control over your dunk packages. So we'll see how that works. It's going to be interesting to see what dunks people come up with and what dunks are going to be on YouTube for people to steal. Surprisingly, 2K mentioned nothing about their total control on layups, so I'm still keeping my eyes out for that. And lastly, 2K went over their builds, badges, and takeovers. The next gen builder is back and more balanced this time around, so there are no more OP power forwards. Hopefully. Smalls and bigs have distinct advantages over one another. Badges have been redone, and there's an addition of badge loadouts, so you can have different badges for different situations. Basically, it gives you the ability to change the style game to game. So maybe you want to be a shooter one game and a dunker the next. Loadouts are going to give you that ability. And 2K also added 17 new badges, which brings their badge total to 80. Some of the highlights being the new fast twitch badge, which gives players the ability to get off the floor for standing layups and dunks quicker. So essentially it's like a pogo stick on offense. Ball stripper, pause, which is the ability to strip layups and dunks a little bit easier, Unstrippable, which is pretty much a counter to Ball Stripper, Limitless Spot Up, and Chef, which both give you the ability to knock down deep threes, one off the catch and the other off the dribble respectively. And probably the most important badge for dribble guys this year, it's going to be Quick Chain, which gives you the ability to chain moves together quicker, like the name implies. Now 2K also mentioned more about features on the AI side of things, and if you want to check that out for yourself, like I said, I'll leave a link to that blog down in the description below. But those were just a few of the highlights that I was able to pick out from the gameplay blog today. Once again, it's a big day in the 2K community. 2K got everybody hyped, and now it's time to execute. Next week we get more My Career news and the release next Friday. So stay tuned for more content. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for more updates, and subscribe to the channel. I've been Team Tommy, and until next time, remember, everybody just chill.